And welcome back to 5 Talk Street. I'm Kristin Dickerson. Chris Howell, who you just met, is an award-winning journalist, author of Man Talk, and president and CEO of Chris Howell Communications, LLC. He's also a great friend of 5 Talk Street, and I certainly want to thank you for taping that previous segment for us. Well, you're here today to tell us about an upcoming event that has your namesake. What is In the Huddle?
Well, In the Huddle with Chris Howell really is a safe haven for men. It's an opportunity for men to come together to talk about those issues that we as men generally don't talk about.
Yeah.
You know, because we've been prone and conditioned to believe that men don't have struggles, men don't have issues, and if you do, you don't talk about them.
Yeah.
But In the Huddle offers that opportunity for men to come together and say, hey, you know what, I'm not alone. I'm not the only man who does not have it all together. So we're putting this event together August 25th at the Renaissance Hotel in Dallas, giving men an opportunity to talk about a man and his money, a man and his health, because you know, me as guys, we don't really go to the doctor as often as we should. We're talking about fatherhood and we're talking about business. We're also going to address the Me Too movement and talk about manhood, because there's so many aspects of our society today that's telling men how to be men, everyone except men. So we're going to talk about that as well.
Yes. You were hosting this event. Why was this so passionate for you to do this? Why did you want to do it?
Well, it was for me. I just recently celebrated my 44th birthday, and generally on my birthdays, I take an opportunity to assess my life, look at things that I've accomplished, look at things that I plan to accomplish. And for the first time in a long time, this birthday was one that I didn't have a clear vision for where I was going to go next.
Yeah.
And so I began to talk to some of my friends about it. And only to find out that many of them were experiencing the exact same thing, but no one had actually initiated the conversation. So I looked around for a meeting such as this, and no one was hosting it. It used to be there were so many empowerment meetings for men. There are very few today. And every week there's one for women. So I began looking and searching for it, and no one was hosting a meeting such as this.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what, let me pull the meeting together. I invited some of my friends, and now we're inviting 200 other guys from across the city.
I love it.
So we'll all come together and talk about it.
How wonderful. What will men be able to take away? What is your goal for them to go away with?
My hope is that men will walk away from this meeting, first of all, understanding, you know what, that I'm not alone. I'm not alone in being the only one who does not have it all together all the time.
Yeah.
And because I don't know why it is that way with us as men. Women don't internalize that as much, but because men, I guess we measure every part of our life. We measure things a lot. And when we feel like we don't have it all together like the next guy, we think that we're the only one who's that way.
Yeah.
So I hope men will first of all understand that. And that's important because if they understand that, they will be more prone to open up and ask for help and then seek out solutions.
Yes.
The other part to this is an empowerment meeting. We want to make sure that men have the tools and the resources necessary. So when we talk about a man and his money, it's not just having a conversation about it, but it's also making sure that men have the tools and resources to make sure they can put mechanisms in place so that one of our biggest roles is to provide for our families. We want to make sure that you can provide for your family long after you're gone, because it's not just taking care of them now. We need to be able to take care of them and our future generations as well. When we talk about our health, it's making sure that men understand the importance of taking care of their health, and then also putting mechanisms in place to where you can thereby go and do that, whether it's an annual physical or whether you should be going every 6 months, whatever the case is. But it's really making sure you understand the importance of leaving a legacy, I guess that's what I'm trying to say, a legacy for your family in terms of good health, a legacy for your family in terms of wealth, a legacy for your family in terms of it's not just enough in being a good man, but let's be good at being men.
Yes.
That's what we're striving.
I love it. How do we sign up for this?
It's inthehuddle.info is the website, or chrishowellfoundation.org. It's being presented by the Chris Howell Foundation. Then go to chrishowellfoundation.org or inthehuddle.info. It's also available on Eventbrite.
This is so helpful.
And I'll say this, we kept it affordable because men generally, when we go seek out help, we don't want to spend a lot for it. We kept it affordable, $25 registration fee. That also includes a 3-course meal at the Renaissance Hotel.
That's a fantastic opportunity. And I love hearing that we don't have to be an expert on everything. We don't have to be an expert on finances, on health, on how to react to certain things. That we can just hang out with other guys, other women for me.
And that's important. And I'm glad you brought that up because, again, many times folks think because you're hosting a meeting such as this, that means you've got it all together. No, no one is perfect. We don't, again, I said it before, we don't always have it all together all the time. But it is an opportunity for us to be better at being men.
Well, thank you for hosting.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Best of luck to you, Chris. And if you would like more information on In the Huddle with Chris Howell, please visit chrishowellfoundation.org, as we mentioned. And don't go away. We'll be right back with more 5 Talk Street.